us back.
Yes. Well, hello, everyone. I am Brittani.
And I'm Megan.
And this is Southbound True Life Tales
from the ATL and beyond. So, in case you haven't noticed, this is our Halloween show.
That's right. That's right. Our first one live in the theater.
I know. This is so exciting. We do have some folks home on Zoom. So hi, Zoom audience.
Thank you. Zoom audience, be sure to answer your question in the chat. What is your best trick and
what is your best treat?
Yes. Okay. Lots of our in-house audience answered, Megan.
We're overwhelmed. We're overwhelmed in the best possible way. So I think let's just dive in.
Yeah, let's just go.
Okay.
These are all audience answers. No prompts.
You feel free to reveal thyself or not.
Or not.
You know who you are.
Yes. It can all be anonymous, right?
Yes, they can be anonymous.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll go first. What is your best treat? Ice cream sandwich. Yes. What is your best trick? Making the ice cream sandwich disappear. Round of applause.
Very good.
That was. Which one? Oh,
yes. Oh, we got yes. I know. Please.
She said she has a trick and a treat.
Oh, okay. Very good. Okay, so this is a best trick.
Okay.
Using my home phone number for people I don't want to talk to because I don't answer that phone. I am stealing that.
That's a great idea.
So stealing that. So
That's
good.
That's a great idea. Yeah. Okay, I have a trick. Is this a nice trick? Putting a bag of dog poop on the doorstep?
Oh yeah, no, that's not a.
Oh, that's not very nice.
Isn't that a Molotov cocktail?
Got it.
Okay, here's another trick.
Okay.
Being an 87-year-old gigolo. I swear that's what that sounds.
That's a favorite.
Yes. I think that is a trick and a feat. Yes.
Round of applause. And his best trick is his best treat is a shoulder rub.
Oh, okay.
That's very nice. I know I need that.
We all could use one of those.
Okay. Have another best treat. Crackle toffee.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
It says saltines, chocolate chips, and butter pecans. If the person who wrote that did not bring that tonight, we're gonna have a problem.
Yes. Where is it here? Is it here? Did you bring it?
Oh man.
Okay, I've got a trick. Pretending to sneeze while throwing warm, wet noodles under the covers at night. Who is this person?
Who did that?
And why are we not best friends right now?
Who did that?
Okay, I think we have time for one more.
Okay, one more.
I don't know who said this, but their best trick is that they can howl like a dog or coyote. And if you want to, please, can we hear it?
Please. Nobody?
No one?
Oh, boo! I mean,
wait,
not
did
boo.
We hear it
today?
They did it. Yes. Woo! Yes, woo! It's so good. All right. What do you think?
I think we should bring up Lisa.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, right?
The woman behind everything, Lisa Acker, artistic director.
Yes!
We love you, Lisa Acker.
No, wait, here it goes. Hello? There we go. Okay, so this is our first time in this space with an audience in almost 18 months. So, yay. So I don't know, did I get anything? I'm going to take a ride. I'm taking a picture to mark this momentous occasion. Thank you. There we go. Okay, great. Oh, yeah. I'm not. Maybe. We got video up there. So thank you all for being here. We've been doing Southbound on Zoom since last April. This is our 6th one. We do a theme every time. These are our beautiful hosts. We're so happy to see them live and beautiful and wonderful. We also had, last year we did a Halloween show called The Ghost of Little 5 Points. Brittani was in it. Our performer, Gina, was in it.
Yes.
Eden, who is in the house over here, is in it. And it is available online still. You can go and watch it for this Halloween. So go watch it on our website. People have asked me when you're coming back. We're coming back in January. If you're a subscriber to us here or donor. You're going to get a letter in the next couple weeks that'll tell you what we've been up to, what we've been doing all this time, and basically been trying to improve things in Horizon in many internal ways and looking towards the future. We're launching a program called Black Women Speak, which is commissions of 9 Black women playwrights who are inspired by coffee chats with over 150 Black women across Georgia. And so we are really excited. Look for your email. We're going to have a screening of those scenes from that in a few weeks. So that'll be going out later this week. I think that's it. I hope you have a great time tonight. So thank you for being masked. Thank you for drinking outside. Thank you for being vaccinated. And thank you for voting very soon. Yes. All right.
Yes. Thank you, Lisa.
We love you, Lisa.
Yes, we do. Thank you.
Is it time, Brittany?
I think it's time.
I think it's time
to bring up our first
yes.
storyteller.
Are you guys ready for your first storyteller?
All right. Ready, Megan? All right. Our first storyteller is Miss Gina Rickicki, and she is an actor, improviser, and writer based in Atlanta. In the before times, you may have seen her perform at any number of theaters around town and also many live lit events. Okay, yes ma'am. Catch her at Theatrical Outfit this winter, where she will be making with the scripted funny, Viva la Vida. Without further ado, Miss Gina.
Everybody. Is this thing on? Fantastic. Hello, spooky Zoom babies. Oh. All right, I'm just going to hang this on my wrist, as is the fashion. All right, guys. Hey, what's up? My name is Gina Rickicki, and I am here to tell you a story about loving something so much and then having it ruined for you and then reclaiming it. That's right. So Halloween was always my favorite Halloween holiday. I was born extra. I was an Italian-American Catholic kid growing up in Montgomery, Alabama, so as you imagine, I didn't have a lot of friends. And so Halloween was the one time of year when, like, my parents had a supper club, and so we decorated the house because October was our month. They went to different houses for every month, and so my mom and I would go cuckoo bananas, and I would, like hand out candy, and we had decorations, and making my costume was the biggest thing because I grew up in a lower middle class / working poor family at times, and so you had to make your costume. So one of the first ones that I remember is my mom was an art student, so she made these amazing butterfly wings and painted them, and then put a little black on my cute nose, and I had little pipe cleaner antenna, and then the all-important Shoney reflective stripes from Shoney's restaurant. Yeah, so that you don't get hit by a car or whatever. So it was always a huge thing. Here, I'm going to go ahead and pop this off because I'm a fairly informal lady. So what was your favorite Halloween costume growing up? Tinkerbell, lovely. Y'all don't be shy. I know it's the pandy and we're not used to talking to each other anymore, but... Gypsy, love it. A Power Ranger, fantastic. My favorite growing up was the Tooth Fairy. Now, the Tooth Fairy was super special because what I did was I used one of my dance recital outfits, and I got some wings, and then because apparently I was a method child, I sculpted all the teeth out of Play-Doh, let them dry, and put them in an opaque bag, so nobody knew that they were there but me. I knew that they were there, and they fueled me throughout the night. So Halloween was always like a big deal. I mean, I remember when I was in high school, and we got told that we were teenagers, we were too old to trick or treat, and I was like, how dare you? How dare you? When I went to college and I lived in New York City and all this kind of stuff, I would go and I would march in the Lower East Side parade and would often dress up as Frida Kahlo because I love her. But I mean, it's not like you need to be invited. You just show up and then you just walk. That's how it works. It's egalitarian and fantastic. So, like, I hope that I've driven home how much I really love Halloween. So, fast forward to my 30s, and I meet this guy who I actually knew from junior high school, and we go on this whirlwind romance, and, like, he's gothy, you know, like me, you know, like, this is all from my closet. Yeah, this is just a little exaggeration for what I do every day. So, you know, he's romantic, and it's all these big gestures and blah, blah, blah. And it's a long-distance relationship. We were in a long-distance relationship for 3 years, which should have been a red flag. That absolutely should have let me know that perhaps we should only see each other once a month and that we shouldn't move forward. However, move forward we did. And so we decided to go to the Biltmore estate. You guys know about the Biltmore? Gorgeous winery, gargoyles, etc. We went there on Halloween, and we dressed up as sickly Victorian people. We were the only people dressed up. But we had a great time, and we went through, and then he surprised me with like a horse carriage ride, and it was awesome, and I was like, oh. And so we get to this like little apex where you can see the entire back of the Biltmore estate, and we get off the carriage, and we're like, oh, this is beautiful. Photo op, down on the knee. He asks me to marry him on Halloween, dressed as Victorian ghosts. He gives me a gorgeous ring with sapphires and diamonds. And I say yes, and then we begin to cohabitate. Oh no. Oh no. Because what happens after a 3-year long-distance relationship becomes an in-house relationship, you start to find out all the things that aren't exactly perfect. So, you know, even though he's got, like, you know, stack boots and he's super creepy and stuff, he also shaves his entire body. So cuddling with him is like a cold, spiky fish. Every night, you know? But I'm like, it's okay, I'm in love, this is amazing, we'll excuse anything, you know? Never mind the fact that he tells me that I don't pack the groceries correctly, and you know, maybe I should learn how to put things in a dishwasher, etc. So for another 3 years, we did not get married. We lived engaged, and things went downhill until eventually, because, you know, as is his pattern, he found a woman in another state. Yeah, right, guys? And decided that he wanted to be with her. They're married now. Mazel tov, he's your problem, right? However, that is the perspective of distance. At the time, I was like, Halloween is dead. I got engaged on Halloween. We loved Nightmare Before Christmas. Like, we loved all of this stuff. I had all the spooky stuff. I had a yard sale. I gave it all away. Halloween was dead to me. I was living in an efficiency in East Point, laying on a mattress on the floor, eating crystals, staring at the ceiling while my cats were like, Mama. Mama, no. Mama, get up. Mama. And I was like, That first year, I went into a Target, and in the Halloween section, and I burst into tears. Yeah, right? Feel bad, right? No. And so it was just one of those things where I was like, Halloween isn't mine anymore. It's completely ruined by this relationship. You know, all the positive things that I had latched to that holiday are gone, because this was easily the most hardcore heartbreak I had ever endured. It was one of those heartbreaks that makes you make sounds that you only read about in Irish plays. Where you're like, and you're like tearing things and pulling your hair out. And the next year, I could kind of deal with the Target Halloween section, but I was still like, no, it's over for me here. I'm not going to watch spooky movies. I'm not going to be the spooky gal. I mean, I was still kind of a spooky gal, but Halloween was verboten. It was not part of my life anymore. And, as they say, time heals all wounds. And I got to this place. Where I was looking at, let's say, a new raft of like Halloween specials and that kind of stuff. And I was like, why am I letting this douchebag take this one thing that I have loved since childhood, that helped define the weird lady that I was, that gave me a sense of belonging and fun? And so I said, I'm going to take it back. I started slow, with, watching a spooky movie here and there. And it was hard to get over, When I talk about this relationship being traumatic and not being healthy, I'm going to share something with you guys that's super, super dark, okay? Are you guys ready?
Yeah! Ready!
Okay. The fact that I'm saying this in front of a room of people is astounding to me. But I think it's important for you guys to know. So, as this breakup was happening, before I decided to reclaim things, I was packing up my belongings in the neo-Victorian spooky dream house that we had bought together. I was just like, I was living my spooky life, right? Well, I was raised by a father that believed in guns and that believed that his daughter should be armed at all times, which meant that I had a 38 in my nightstand. A loaded 38 in my nightstand. Yeah, whoa, indeed, right? Oh, boy. You're like, guys, I thought I was here for theater. But I want to drive home to you how strange heartbreak and somebody getting into your head can be, and that I was packing up my bedroom. I was just packing it up, and I was, packing up the things off of the top of my bedstand, and I was packing the things that were inside of my bedstand, and the gun was there. And it was loaded, and it did not have a safety on it. It didn't have a lock on it, right? And for 30 of the longest seconds of my life, I held that gun and said I could just go downstairs. Because he's playing Skyrim like he has for the past 3 years. He's playing a video game, he's staring at the television. I could go down the stairs, and I could end this for him, and I could end this for me. That is how great my pain was, and it scared the ever-loving shit out of me, right? I was like, who is this person? This isn't Gina. Gina likes cupcakes. Like, Gina wants to hear a fun story and have a good time. So I came from that super, super dark moment, which I would like to say afterwards, I went to my parents' house, brought the gun there, said, please keep this away from me. If anybody's ever having an experience that is similar to that, there are hotlines out there that you can call. Please do so. But I removed the danger from my situation, right? And so over the ensuing years, I decided to reclaim it. And I decided that I was going to take something so dark and I was going to make something beautiful. So last year, we have this dead tree on our lawn that's like, it still blooms. So it's sort of like me. It's alive on the outside and it blooms. It's a dogwood. It blooms every year, but it's kind of hollow and dead on the inside. So, I'm just joking. I mean, it is. But that meant that I could string lights through it, and I turned it into, because it was COVID times, a Halloween candy tree. And I said for all of the kids to come by, and please, on Halloween, it's going to bloom with candy hanging off of all of the branches in this like Willy Wonka fever dream. And so I did it with fishing line, and I hot glued so many pieces of candy. And that glue was a little too strong. That was the beta test, we learned. But I actually got to experience the joy of seeing kids walk up and pull things off of the tree and talk with their parents and have fun, which is really what Halloween for me is about, right? It's that kind of childless, well, I'm childless, that childhood magic, right? That we all get to experience. It's free candy for everybody, right? So I, this year, have made sure, because I always work on Halloween. It's a busman holiday for people like us who work in theaters. I was here last year on Halloween. I'm doing people's makeup or something like that for Halloween. This year, I have decorated my front porch. Yes. It's a spooky. And I'm going to be there the entire night to make sure that I can give teenagers, adults, or kids, does not matter. I can give them candy, and I can reclaim and relive the absolute joy of the weirdest holiday of the year. And I might also say that I made these teeth tonight out of some fake nails, fake fingernails, and Fix-A-Dent. The past half hour, my lips have been glued to my mouth. But, guys, do not ever, no matter how much you love somebody, do not ever let somebody interfere with something that you hold precious, that you hold dear, that gives you joy, because joy is in such short shrift these days. So, if you want to get silly and put on dumb makeup and glue fingernails to your teeth, freaking do it. Yeah. Happy Halloween.
Gina Rickicki! Yes!
I'll move it back. Okay.
That was great.
Oh,
that was so great.
Yeah, it totally weirded out an entire room of people.
They loved it.
It was pretty magical, I thought.
I
right?
thought so too. It was real. Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Does that invitation for Candy for All extend to Horizon Theater audience members and show hosts?
Yes, absolutely. If I live in East Point.
Oh, perfect.
Come hang out. I got a porch swing that I made spooky. I have some tentacles that I made in previous years that are decorating the porch.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, no, it's weird.
Oh, yes, we love it.
But yeah, no, come on by if you want to come hang out.
Is the tree making an appearance second year?
No, the tree was there because I had to work.
Oh, okay.
And so I wasn't able, I had to try to find a way that I could still try to make some magic, but not be there. So this year,
you're ready.
Oh,
porch
man.
ready.
I'm going to be that weird lady.
Yes.
We all love that lady.
So much candy.
Yes.
I got home and my husband, who is not the previous guy.
Does your husband like Halloween?
He's from the Midwest, guys.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine. He, but that's the thing. I'm allowed to have the things that I love. But
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean that my partner needs to enjoy them at the same level that I do.
Lessons.
I'm gonna get weird. He will tolerate it.
Yeah.
And we'll have a good time.
Yes. Now, Gina, tell us what's next for you. What's next? Plug.
Next is I'm going to be in the holiday show at Theatrical Outfit, and it is Sherlock Holmes, and it's a Baskerville mystery.
Is also in that show the Dashing Robin Bloodworth? Did I make that up?
Yeah, no.
And is he here tonight?
What? Is that tall drink of foxy water here this evening?
Yes, I saw him in the back.
We got to do one show together previously, and I'm like, we're back, baby.
Yeah.
I'm going to be playing like 12 different characters. It's going to be a hoot and a holler. It's a farce, which we're all very used to now because we live in America.
Mic drop.
But except
Don't
for
drop it. Yes.
Never drop a mic.
That's true.
A sound person will hate you.
Thank you.
Yeah. They're
Thank you
expensive.
so much, Gina. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
That was so great.
That was great.
Yes.
It was a lot of fun. Go watch it online, because
Yes. Is it time for our next guest, our next storyteller? All right, I think so. Yes. All right. So our next storyteller is an Atlanta area actor, singer, puppeteer, director, composer, and educator. I know, right? He has performed in and around town for many theaters, including the 2012 Suzy Award-winning production of Avenue Q here at Horizon, which I saw, and he was fabulous. He is resident puppeteer at the Center for Puppetry Arts, where he has performed and directed since 2003, and originated the role of Darkly Dreadful in another Suzy Award-winning production, The Ghastly Dreadfuls, now playing at the Center. He is a two-time Metropolitan Atlanta Theater Award winner. Give it up for Spencer Stevens!
Oh my God! Who the hell is she talking about? I think I'm on. Am I on? Yes, I'm on. Hi, I'm Spencer Stevens. I'm an actor around Atlanta, and I'm a puppeteer. Just wanted to talk to you guys about puppets. How many of you love puppets? I adore puppets. I have actually been a puppeteer at the Center for Puppetry Arts for almost 19 years. Exactly, wow. I never knew when I started that I would love puppetry so much, even though I grew up with Sesame Street, and I grew up with the Muppet Show going, it looks really cool. Never in my wildest dreams had I imagined that I actually would have a job operating puppets and getting paid for it. So, it has been phenomenal. And one of the other great things that I've actually been blessed with is to be a part of this incredible show, The Ghastly Dreadfuls, which is currently running right now. If you haven't seen it, come and see it. It's an adult Halloween cabaret. So we actually just recently lowered the age to 16 because we realized some of the stories are a little more PG. So it's been happening. We've been doing the show for 15 years. We started the show in 2006, and I was invited to be a part of this whole show. And for me, I have never actually been a huge Halloween person. You know, Halloween was a holiday. People had fun. Cool, no big deal. I wasn't huge about Halloween. My life has now completely changed when it comes to Halloween because of this one show in particular, but also because of being a puppeteer at the Center for Puppetry Arts. In my 15 years, I've actually been involved in several iterations of Halloween shows at the Center for Puppetry Arts. There was this first show, the first show I got involved in, and it had been going on for a while. It was called the Spooky Puppet Show. So think Halloween, frat house, lots of drinks, wild craziness. At some point, there's some porn that gets shown on a screen. So it was just this wild, crazy thing where people brought in these crazy puppet pieces. Anything you had a wild idea about, you came in and you brought in a puppet piece. There was an audience. We had this thing called Beer Frenzy where you'd spin a wheel and the audience would come up and do kind of crazy things. So this was my introduction to Halloween puppetry. I'm like, okay, this is fun. It's pretty silly. The founder of the center, Vince Anthony, decided, we need to kind of stop this and kind of class things up a little bit. So he actually reached out to one of the other puppeteers and said, "Can you create us another Halloween show?" So, but we couldn't make any new puppets, so we had to use existing puppets. So we used puppets that had already existed from some other shows, and we did this thing called a prequel to the Spooky Puppet Show, explaining some of the crazy characters. And so it became more like a Rocky Horror-esque kind of thing where we had these two people just going up to the puppet center and going to this house and what's happening in this house? And then they get wrapped up and do some crazy puppet shenanigans. All right, so pretty fun, kind of nebulous. It's another awesome puppet show. Then a director, I think, decided to start purging his demons. And wrote another show that I just recently found out in my rehearsal. The title of it is connected to the Scottish play. And so I'm not even saying the title anymore because she was about to throw me out of the room. Because I kept saying, well, in the show, blah, 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 blah. But the show is called Something, but I'm not going to say the rest. But for now, we'll just say Something Scary. And so in this show, it took a really dark direction. there was a Jack the Ripper kind of character that was torturing this young girl. There were some light moments, but there was also a Oracle Tarot reader as a puppet, some kind of weird things. But the show started out, there are these beautiful, beautiful Japanese puppets that were kind of all in whiteface and just amazing to look at. Well, we started out with one of the puppets and put it on the floor, and we did kind of a moment like The Ring. So all of the lights were out, and the black lights were on, and this puppet starts crawling on the floor. So we're out manipulating this puppet to crawl on the floor like The Ring, and she gets up and she starts flying. You hear the sound of a banshee, all of this other stuff. This is how the show started. So you're going to go like, where do you go from here? Interestingly enough, it went several places, and in some cases a little dangerously. Now, I say that to go, with puppets, whenever I don't know if a lot of you know that when a puppet is created, the energy of the creator is pretty much in that puppet. So you get the energy, you get a lot of what that person is in that puppet. And sometimes you also get energy from the person that manipulated it before. Well, these beautiful puppets, we don't know what the energy was in them, but when we were in rehearsals, weird things started happening. So for in that particular show, people started falling off ladders. There was a moment where I think we had a weapon in the show, and someone almost got impaled. Something weird, and this was weird. And the director realized, he was like, "Wait a minute, we didn't salt the room." So we went back and we salted the four corners of the theater. Everything was fine from that point on. So, I don't know, how many of you have been to the Center for Puppetry Arts? Yeah. And how many of you seen like an adult show at the center? Oh, cool, awesome. Because the center's not just for kids, because we do adult stuff as well. But rumor has it that the Center for Puppetry Arts is haunted. And I've been there for as long as I've been there. There is energy that you feel. Now, it used to be a school. It was called the Spring Street School. It used to be a school until Vince Anthony got it in the 70s and actually opened up the Center for Puppetry Arts. FYI, this used to be a school, if I'm not mistaken, correct? Yeah. So there is some interesting energy at the Center for Puppetry Arts. And the former resident lighting designer and producer told me a story that she was working on a lighting design for a show. She was in the place by herself. All of a sudden, she just started hearing a lot of different things, a lot of different noises, and kind of creepy noises. And all she said was, "We're in here, we're working together. I'm not here to bother you. I just want to get my work done." Everything stopped. Okay? So now the artistic director, John Ludwig, I just literally talked to him the other night and mentioned that story. And he's like, "I've been sleeping here. I've slept here for a lot of times overnight just because of things he was working on." He's like, I've never heard a ghost. And he said, "If I hear one, I'm going to put him to work." So, which is cool. So he's kind of debunking all that. But other people have actually said that they have felt something. There's something happening at the center. Now, for Ghastly Dreadfuls, we had a lot of weird stuff happen in that show as well. So when I say weird, luckily with puppets, you just connect with the puppet. The more you let the puppet know, okay, we're doing this together, we're working the show, everything's going to be cool. And they actually will work with you. It's when you start to fight them, that's when things go a little haywire. And there were just some weird things that happened in Ghastly. I know just really crazy stuff like at the beginning of one of our shows, right before we actually went on stage, all of the dimmer lights in the room started freaking out. Nothing had been wrong with the lights to begin with before. They just all decided to start to freak out. It's flashing, going crazy, literally right before the show. Another show, we get out there, we're running the show, and all of a sudden, the fog machine in the back was not on, had turned itself on, filled the entire room with fog. And so there's nothing but fog happening in the room. All right, so you're going, okay, that just sounds like some just odd stuff happening. No. It's the puppets. Or is it the ghosts? Now, I have been there for a long time, and I'm a pretty skeptical person, but in my heart of hearts, I know something's up. And I respect the space, and I respect what's happening. Though, if you've been to the center, there's everything is built at the Puppet Center, so all the puppets we build and all the set pieces are created there. When the puppets are done with the show, they go to this wonderful place called the Puppet Warehouse. Let me explain to you what happens in the Puppet Warehouse. The Puppet Warehouse is connected to the building. It's just like on the side. So if you're ever in the back of the building, you see the main theater, and to the side, you see this long building. It looks like a warehouse. And you walk in, and it's kind of like, okay, cool. There are a lot of different things in here. To the left, you see all of the set pieces. So they're sorted by show. Awesome. If you go over to the right, there's this doorway, and if you walk in this doorway, there are a bunch of little items that are props. So when puppets actually carry things or move things around, those are little puppet props. So, humans have props, puppets have tiny props, and they're all stored in this little room. And then there's more storage, like if you go to the back, there's more storage, then there's this special door right here. That's where the puppets are. So if you go in this door, and everything's kept really cold, just to protect the puppets, you go in this door, you flip on the light. There's chicken wire all over the room, and the puppets are hanging. So there are puppets hanging by show with their group of other puppets, hanging, just hanging. Now, to make some of it even creepier, some of them are wrapped up in bags. So think of a puppet that is smiling at you, covered in a bag, hanging. I refuse to go to the Puppet Warehouse alone. I have never been in that Puppet Warehouse by myself, and I refuse to do it. When we close this show in 2 weeks, we have to strike everything at the end of our show. Our show ends at about 10:15. We'll actually strike all the puppets. So about 10:45, close to 11, we're hauling everything to the Puppet Warehouse, where they're hanging. I am not going alone. Now, that other show that was about, that has that title that I cannot say anymore, one really, really freaky thing that happened. One of the actors was in a body puppet. So a body puppet is a puppet that you're inside and you're wearing and you manipulate with your whole body. So he's in this body puppet, and it's covered in tulle, and it has a separate head that's sitting on top of his head. So he, for the show, he had to actually run out of the room because he had this huge entrance coming down the back of the stairs from the audience. So like, say, coming from this way. But in order for him to get there, he actually had to go out of the building, go outside, and cross behind on this little walkway to get to the very back door to the theater. So he runs out, and he recounted the story to me right after the show happened, but he goes out and he walks, and so he's in this kind of headdress and tulle, and he's walking and he's running to get to the door. He stops, there's a figure right in front of him. He does not know what it is. It's a being in front of him. He stops, he takes a breath, and he keeps going. Is it the puppets? Or is it the ghost? This is at the Center for Puppetry Arts. Don't let it freak you out. Come and see a show, please. Please, come and see a show. Don't let it scare you. Because, like I said, crazy things happen. But we actually had to also salt Ghastly Dreadful when we started doing it because weird things started happening in the show as well. And just recently, two just little strange things happened. They had set the puppets for one of the pieces. Two of the cables, electric cables that were plugged in, actually wrapped themselves around each other as if someone actually took them and sat there and twisted them. Then, I've been doing this show for 15 years. For the first time ever in my life, I actually fell off the stage. I've never fallen, but I got to the end, and I stopped, and I turned, and my foot didn't go with me, and my whole body torqued, and I hit the ground. Now, this all happened on October 10th, when we were in rehearsal, which happens to be the anniversary of my father's death. My father died in 2012 while I was in a preview for the Ghastly Dreadfuls. And I got a call, and I didn't even realize what happened. We finished the show, and I got to the dressing room, and I got all these calls from my mom, and I listened to calls, and I thought it was my grandmother. And then I called my mom, and she said, "You've got to come home." And I said, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And she just said, "He's gone." I bawled. My entire cast surrounded me. That was October 10th. There's a piece that I narrate in the show that I based the character, some of the character's personality off of my father, because I love him dearly. And we always have a moment and we bond before I do that scene, and even after the scene. I got to the end of the scene, and there's a moment that's kind of very tender at the end of the scene. I got overcome with emotions during the run. I was in tears because my father connection, the whole thing. I was in tears. My castmate said, "Are you okay?" I was like, "I'm fine. I'm good." Yeah, plowing through. My dad was a comedian. My dad was really, really funny, and I loved him dearly. From that point on, weird shit started happening for me with the puppets, and that's also when I fell off the stage. And at first I was like, "Nah, that can't be my dad." That was my dad. I know for a moment, and it pretty much, as I think about it more, it's pretty much my dad going, "Get your shit together, you got a show to do." So stop bawling. So now with everything that we do at the center for Halloween, Halloween has now become a really, really, really fun holiday for me. And there was one year of the show in 2019 that I did not get to do, and it left a hole in my heart. And so now I'm so glad I'm back, able to do it, and I will do it until I'm in the grave. And I've even told them that I'm coming out of the grave to do the show again. So now, one other little puppet thing. I was asked to deliver a puppet. A man had passed away that was a clown. He was a clown, a professional clown. He had passed away, but someone had made a puppet of his clown character, and they said, "Could you take it to the puppet center and maybe have them put it in the museum?" I was like, "Sure." This was before COVID. So I ended up getting the puppet. I got the puppet, and then I just, with everything that was happening, I completely forgot to contact the center and say, "Can we get this in the museum?" But something about this puppet made me go, "I can't take it in my house." So I lived in a high-rise apartment prior to where I'm living right now. So I had a storage room at the bottom of the building. So I always kept the puppet there, so I knew he was in his box. And so this was all during COVID. I just recently moved to East Cobb, and I'm in a townhouse. I cleared out my storage unit, and I took the puppet, not to my house, to my school. Where I teach, and I was like, "I'm going to leave the puppet here and just try to get it to the center." I was going to bring it tonight because I was going to show you, I don't know who created this puppet. I know who this puppet was built for. I don't think he ever manipulated the puppet, but I'm not sure who created it. But I was weary of just about bringing it into my own space because you just don't know, and I love puppets. So I was going to bring it tonight to show you. He's missing. I looked for him for 30 minutes today at my school in all the places he should or could have been, and I know exactly where I left him. So he's missing. I may give you an update if I actually find him or if he shows up. And a weird thing in my brain says when I get home, he's going to be in the garage. So, is it the puppets? I don't know. But I'm Spencer Stevens. Thank you so much. And happy Halloween.
Thank you, Spencer Stevens.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yes, I just want to say I won't be coming to see. I'm just kidding. I'm
Singing and dancing and puppets, and you're far enough away. So.
Okay, great. I don't deal with no puppets.
I never knew that about puppets. I never thought about like the energy of the maker is in the puppet.
I know a lot of the puppet I manipulate, the main one I manipulate for the show. I know a lot of my energy is in it, and I can feel it because I transfer a lot of it in it when I perform.
Okay.
So yeah, mine has got a positive energy. I'm just saying.
Yes,
as far as I know, it's positive.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, thank you.
Come see the show. Ghastly Dreadfuls runs until October 30th.
Thank
Thank you.
How's everybody doing out there? Good? Are you all ready for a little music? Yes! All right, so I'm going to scooch over so they can get ready. Straight out of their graves in Atlanta, Georgia, our musical guest tonight has been featured at Holly Fest, Avondale Mayhem Fest, Rockabilly. Did I say that right? I said that right. Did I say that right? I asked them before and still forgot. Georgia Horror Fest and Dragon Con. What? The largest fan-run pop culture convention in the world. They joined Batcave Records in 2020 with the album Pumpkin Guts. And are currently working on their second full-time release in between Dirt Naps, of course. Please give it up for the Tomb Tones!
That's right. There we go. Well, this one's for anybody who takes Halloween maybe a little too seriously. Well, I've been decorating my whole street, just trying to get ready for a trick or treat. People always stare when I ride in my hearse. They just don't appreciate the 31st. Gonna show them all how I burnt down the Halloween. Real spider web. I can't get the monster mash out of my head. While they're putting up spooky sticker eyes, I'll be planning out my surprise. Gallons of gas in my shopping cart. Gonna tell them all how I burned down the Halloween. Yeah, well, I start the fire, it's consuming the store. Freddy Krueger's looking like you've seen this before. Costume aisle and I start to browse. The smell of burning plastic has got me aroused. Woo! Plastic crap without any heart. On my way to burn down the Halloween. Well, they're both floating at the Dial 9. The motion sensor toys all went off at the same time. Sound of sirens and it's time to leave. Celebrate the rest of all Hallows Eve. They call it a crime, but I call it art. Gonna tell them all how I burned down the Halloween barn. The Halloween barn, yeah.
there's a little bit of an adjustment here. Yeah, we usually have like a drummer and it's like a crazy punk rock show and stuff. This is different. Very different. And also, like, what about those two stories that we just heard before this? Like, how do you even follow that? Yeah, how do you even follow that? Oh my god.
What about a song about something a little spooky ourselves? I mean, burning down a store is pretty spooky and all, but...
how about a love song?
Well, this is a nice love song, you're right.
Yeah. All right.
1, 2, 3, and...
Oh yeah. I thought we were having fun. You said I was the only one. You've been staying out all night. Just tell me things will be alright. What was that fun coming from your trunk? Have you got a brand new hobby? Look inside, it's a dead body. Baby, 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 are you crazy? I promise that I can be discreet. All your little exploits never faze me. As long as I'm down and well, I've had time to contemplate. Since you've been coming in so late, and I still love you, but I'm no fool. Don't be offended if I lock up all our tools. I'm hearing screams even in my dreams. All night out in your shed, body parts and shrunken heads. So baby, 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 are you crazy? I promise that I can be discreet. All your little exploits never faze me. As long as I don't get beat. Well, you said that we would never part, but now you're ripping out my heart. I was happy to look the other way, but now my insides you'll in so much pain, it's clear that you're insane. Just wanna ask you this, can I please have just one last kiss? So baby, 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 you're so crazy. To the grave, your secrets I will keep. All your little exploits never faze me. Doesn't matter now, speaking to a cat. 'Cause I just ended up deadbeat. Oh yeah. 'Cause I just ended up deadbeat. Yeah, 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 yeah. 'Cause I just ended up deadbeat. Thank you. Thank you. We are the Toontones. This is my guard Carlson right here. And I'm Kyle Ransom. This next song is called Dracula's Brother. I've been living with a vampire's curse for 1,000 years. When it comes to love, there's nobody worse. I'll make you cry your tears. Oh yeah, I'm a selfish lover. Oh yeah, run and tell your mother. Oh yeah, know there ain't no other, 'cause I'm Dracula's brother. I've been around the world 1,000 times, ruining romance. You might be thinking that I'll make you mine. You haven't got a chance. Oh yeah, I'm a selfish lover. Oh yeah, run and tell your mother. Oh yeah, you know there ain't no other, 'cause I'm Dracula's brother. I said I'm Dracula's brother. Yeah, I'm Dracula's brother. Well, we had the same father. Maybe there's another. This is Southbound, right? It's true tales. That one is actually true. I am actually Dracula's brother. Oh my gosh. You guys are a great crowd. Like, dude, this is crazy. And like, thank you everybody for coming out tonight. Like, wow. We survived this year.
We did it again.
Yeah. Well, how about another little spooky song? This one's
Another true story?
This one is a true story, and I'm gonna set the stage a little bit here. On a cracked and broken road, in a long forgotten town, I look back in the rear view, hit the gas, no slowing down. On my dash, a blood-stained photograph, a picture of my girl, memories of a former life, a wholly different world. It was a dark and stormy night, the thunder louder than the rain. I asked if everything was alright. That's when she tried to eat my brain. My girlfriend's a zombie. I'm in love with the living dead. My girlfriend's a zombie. So I chopped off her head. My girlfriend's a zombie. Skin and bone is her favorite meal. My girlfriend's a zombie. And I can't help the way I feel. As I drive across the nuclear wasteland in my car, next to me in the shotgun seat, her head lives in a jar. I always keep my eyes peeled to see if others have survived, but my mind keeps wandering back to the day she died. We just come home from a trip to the sea, romantic weekend just for us. There was a message from the CDC. That's when she tried to eat my guts. My girlfriend's a zombie. I'm in love with the living dead. My girlfriend's a zombie. So I chopped off her head. My girlfriend's a zombie. Skin and bone is her favorite meal. My girlfriend's a zombie. And I can't help the way I feel. Baby, there must be no more room in hell. 'Cause when you look at me, I think you hear a dinner bell. And ever since you died, you just hunger more and more. Just stay away from me. No, no, the girlfriend's a zombie. And the world's falling apart. My girlfriend's a zombie. And she's gnawing at my heart. My girlfriend's a zombie. Kissed her now, the virus spread. My girlfriend's a zombie. And forever will
Thank you guys so much. That was amazing. Yes. Yes, you guys, they have merch outside. If you guys want to go check that out. We're outside the front door. And where can we catch you guys next? Where are all your IG?
Yeah, we are playing Star Bar this Saturday.
Okay, yeah.
Show, so it should be crazy.
Please come and see it.
Yeah, it's our big Halloween show. So that one's this Saturday. We're also going to be playing Boo at the Zoo on Sunday the 31st at Zoo Atlanta. Yeah, if you want to look us up, The Tomb Tones, TOMBTONES. We're on Insta, Facebook, all that stuff, and we're on Spotify. Please give us a listen.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Yes. Woo!
That was amazing. All right, what do we think? Is it time? Are you guys ready for another storyteller?
I think so.
Woo! We have 2 more.
Yeah, 2 more.
Yes.
Yes, perfect. Okay. I'll introduce, yeah.
You're so on it.
All right, guys. Our next storyteller is Miss Lorena. Was that close? Okay, I really tried. Okay, Morales is originally from Mexico and is a DACA dreamer and actress based in Atlanta. You may have recently seen her as La Loca Lopez Perez Smith during Lawrenceville, Georgia's Ghost Tour. She is also the first female Spanish tour guide in the state of Georgia at Aurora's Theater. Congratulations, yes! Or perhaps as Maria in 9 to 5 the musical on stage in Atlanta. I don't know anybody else that was in that. And on stage is Spring Shorts Baby Doll. She's worked with the Royal Theater playing the role of Nana Garcia in The Real Women Have Curves and was a part of Theatrical's Outfit Unexpected Reading Festival of Just Like Us. Lorena would like to thank her parents for packing their few things and risking their lives just to be with you here sharing her story. The next voice you will hear is Miss Lorena.
You hear me over there? Yes, very good, very good. I know you're wondering who is this beautiful women behind the mask. Well, I will show you. Are you ready to see the beautiful face of man? Oh, wait, we have to show the shoulder. Oh, yes. You see, my name is La Loca Lopez Perez Smith. Yes, Smith. Yo, Mexicanita with an American last name. Yes. You see, I'm married to Capitan Smith. He's so gorgeous, tall, gringo, Americano, with big, beautiful lips and the green eyes and strong muscles, never mind. But you see, Capitan Smith left me. He left me in my country, Mexico, and I am here in Atlanta looking for him. Because he's not answering my letters, he's not answering my fire signals, he's not answering anything. But I'm going to find him tonight. You are all going to help me find him tonight, right? Yeah. So remember, you look out for the dreamy gringo, for this Mexicanita, because you know I look for papers. Never mind. That's another topic. Oh my goodness. But you see, I was down in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Who knows where Lawrenceville, Georgia is? Yes, you smart people. You get around, huh? Yes, I like. So I was down there, and I was walking down Honest Alley. Yes, Honest Alley. But you see, this is not a very honest alley. No. In Honest Alley in the 1900s, you see, they would do the mule trading. They would do the bootleggers. You know what I mean? Huh? Oh, I finished my tequila already. So I know the bootleggers. And there's women of, how do I say, loose morals. Ooh, nothing like me, you know, I'm very classy. Nothing like me. Sir, what are you looking at? Oh my goodness, sir. But I was down the honest alley, you know, and I run into Edgar Dunlap. Edgar Dunlap is a very handsome young boy like yourself, sir. You know, I want you to sing when I meet Captain Smith again. Can you please sing and we renew our vows? Jess, would you do this for me? Oh, Jess, round of applause. Do not charge. It's free, right? Free. Very, very good, very good. Free. You know, Mexicanos like the free things, you know. Madrina, padrino, you know. The quinceañera. Never mind. Another topic too. So, I'm down honest alley looking for my Captain Smith, and I run into Edgar Dunlap. He's a 17-year-old boy, and his mama and his papa tell him every day, Edgar, I don't want you going down honest alley. You hear me, boy? So every boy and little girl know never to go down the honest alley. But one particular night, Edgar Dunlap was with his friends, you know, playing, hanging out, giggling, ha ha ha, he he he. And it begins to get very, 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 very dark. And it begins to rain. Edgar looks at the time and he tells to himself, I have to go home. It's going to, you know, start raining. It's getting very late. My mama, my papa, they're going to be very, very, very angry with me. So he gets all of his things and he begins to walk. But it begins to rain a little bit harder. So he sees honest alley. Ooh. So he thinks to himself, I am going to go down honest alley because I have to get home. You know, it's getting very, very, very dark. The rain is coming. And he goes down honest alley. And he's walking and walking. And suddenly, lady, wake up. What are you doing? Hello? This is embarrassing. I'm not that boring, mama. Mira, you need some skin to wake up. Oh my God. So, we do again, right? He's walking down the honest alley and he sees a very, very dark, scary shadow. And he thinks to himself, don't turn around, don't turn around, don't turn around. Don't turn around, don't turn around, don't turn around. And he turns around. And there it was. The shadow of a tree. Where's this the tree, sir? You know the tree? Nothing scary, sir. So, Edgar starts to laugh at himself. Oh my goodness, Edgar, what is wrong with you? Your mama just, you know, she tells these things to, you know, honest alley. Your head is playing the games with you. So he begins to walk because it's getting even more darker and darker, and the rain is coming and coming and coming, when suddenly, Edgar tells to himself, don't turn around, don't turn around, don't turn around. Don't turn around, don't turn around, don't turn around. And he turns around. And there it was. It was just a little kitty cat crossing through the honest alley. Oh! So Edgar starts to laugh at himself. Oh my goodness, Edward. But the rain is here. The lightning, the thunder, it's here. So he begins to pick up the pace. Now it looks like he's running and running and running and running when suddenly... Oh my goodness, sir, it's caught water and so... Well, you know, they just do the performance. So I give you pass, I give you pass. So they smell. What is this disgusting smell? And you know, I do not understand Edgar. Lady, another one, oh my goodness. So, if you smell this disgusting smell, are you going to go looking for it? No, you go, vámonos, vámonos a la chingada, vámonos. But no, again, you Americans, you go back and what is this smell? Oh my goodness. So he's looking and looking for the smell. And right behind him, no, it's not his stomach. And there it was. Two skeletons behind Edward Dunlap. Ooh. And he does what every teenage boy will do, which is... Oh my God, did you not eat, people? Did you not eat your tacos? Oh my God. Let's try one more time. And he do what every teenage boy would do, which is... No, he fell to the ground. He fell there to the ground. Oh, the rain come, the storm, the lightning, the thunder, the wind. The next morning comes the sheriff. You know, the big belly, the sheriff. Why do they always have the toothpick? I don't understand. Well, we done lost another boy to the demon liquor now. So, he does the one scariest thing for a teenage boy like Edgar. And he takes him to his mama. Oh, his mama. Oh, Edgar, I done told you, boy, not to ever go down honest alley, boy. Why would you do this to me, Edward? Oh, the demon liquor now. Oh, Edward, why, Edward, why? And so on, and so, and so, and so. So Edgar is trying to tell to his mama, no, Mama, I do not have the demon liquor, Mama, no. There was two skeletons behind me. I get so scared, I fell to the ground. The mama, of course, does not believe her teenage boy. But 2 days later, in big, bold letters of the newspaper, there it was. 2 skeletons walking around town. 2 skeletons walking around town. Yes, this is a true story, man. Let me tell what happened to you. So in Lawrenceville, there's a very, very, very old cemetery. And in the cemetery, there's a big, old tree. And you see the roots of the tree wrapped around the coffin. And with the storm and the wind and the lightning, it blew up. And out came dancing the skeletons in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Ooh. You know, I remember when I used to dance with my Capitani Smith. I wonder if he's dancing in my backyard.
not see that coming. Yes.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't have a follow-up. Wait a minute.
I did not see that last part coming.
Right. Wait a minute.
That was amazing.
One more round of applause there.
Now, did that really happen? I have to know, did that really happen?
Right,
That's
right.
true story, because this is True Life Tales.
Yes, Edgar Dunlop is real story. You can catch us at the Aurora Theater, Lawrenceville Ghost Tour.
Yeah.
You can hear
Okay.
all about it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes. Kesslin.
Okay, so as some of you, well, only a couple of you actually, knew that there was a costume contest tonight.
That's right.
So we have two winners.
We have two
We have
winners.
pretty much because they're the only two people that dressed up. But you're both winners to us.
Yes, and you look
You
great.
have prizes. You have prizes. We have prizes.
First, go. Who's the first
The
one?
chef.
The chef. Come
Right
on here.
Come
Come on up. Come on up. Come on up. We just want to say, wait, once you get up here,
Our favorite part
right?
is the fact that the mustache is on the mask.
That's the best part. Yes. Congratulations. Thank you. What's your name, sir? What's your name? Marshall, and are you a fan of the Horizon Theater? Of course.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Sir, yes, sir. And will you be back in January?
Absolutely.
Yes, one more round of applause for Marshall. Thank you. Right, and the witch, right, where?
The gal right
I
there.
can't see.
The second row.
Right here. I can't see nothing. Oh, Eden! Eden's like, this is my wardrobe. Round of applause. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful. Yes. This is Eden. Eden, where can we catch you next?
Wherever someone will cast me.
Come on, girl.
Oh.
Ask for that job. Ask for it. Yes, thank you, Eden. Thank you. You look beautiful.
Yeah, you
I
do.
love this. Yes, thank you.
Wherever someone, she learned early.
No,
She knows.
listen.
She knows.
Listen, yes.
She was also with the Ghastly Dreadfuls.
That's right.
And she was part of Madeline's Christmas.
Is it time for our last
I
storyteller?
think it's time for our last storyteller.
You guys, we only have one more storyteller.
Oh, no, I'm so sad. Okay.
Okay.
But this is my very good friend, Miss Jennifer Alice Acker. She is an actor, director, and vocalist for the stage based in Atlanta, Georgia. By night, an artist. By day, she splits her time as executive director of Eclectic Music, a local music school, and as a consultant with Faye and Fauna, a business consulting agency. Well-rounded, friends, well-rounded, all right? She's wildly passionate about art in most mediums, theater, healthy work cultures, healthy communication styles and relationships, tarot, travel, cocktails, and good food. In the downtime, she is an expert cat cuddler and an amateur watercolorist. And oh yeah, she has a blog. Okay, ready? JenniferAliceAcker.com/musings. Without further ado, Miss Jennifer.
So, some people have Christmas. I have Halloween. I'm an October baby. I was born in October. And on my first birthday, well, actually, wasn't my first birthday. It was the day I was born. My grandpa bought my mom a tiny glass jack-o'-lantern. And my grandma hand-sewed my tiny baby first Halloween costume. She sewed the one I'm wearing now, too. Yeah, I started at birth, I think. Halloween and I became intrinsically linked. My birthday officially kicked off the season of make-believe, a season of mystery and cool autumn nights of fireburst colors in the woods that cradled the historic colonial-era town in Connecticut where I grew up. Nights would get longer and colder, and the fireplace would begin to warm as the month crept on, and my birthday, a fact it seemed was only recognized by my own family, was the event that kicked the most magical, beautiful transition of the year off. Growing up, the whole month of October became a celebration. My birthday was on the 9th, but these celebrations did not end until the 31st when the costume came off. And if you haven't taken a whole month to celebrate your birthday, 10 out of 10 would recommend. In the tradition my grandpa unknowingly started, every year I would get another Halloween decoration on my birthday. When I was old enough to understand what was going on, my mom would take me to pick out my very own jack-o'-lantern myself. By the time I reached high school, it had escalated. It was no longer a single item. It was an entire entourage of items. One year, haunted houses. Next year, witch-themed things. Final year, scary cats. On and on and on, and hundreds of Halloween jack-o'-lantern tchotchkes later. And before I even knew it, Halloween and I became something of a sister act. Some people have anniversaries and graduations and New Year's Eves, and I can recount my entire life in Halloweens. There was my first Halloween on a new street where it would have been a pretty lonely night for the new kid on the block, but I met Jeff Higgins, and he invited me to go trick-or-treating with him and his friends. Well, together, we scored full-size candy bars from the three ladies who were in like full witch regalia, noses, warts, the whole thing, and they made you reach into their smoking cauldron to pull out the king-size reward. And we laughed and we scrambled and ran as the spooky sound pumped into boom boxes. You remember those? Cassette tapes. All the way down Williams Way, run on extension cords from people's homes. At the end of the night, we sat down and we split our candy to make sure we had equal Reese's cups. Jeff didn't just change my life that night, though. He would come to define my childhood. A friend who would trick-or-treat with me for the next decade. A friend who would drive me to high school every single day, listening to Billy Joel and Wicked in equal measure. A friend who, on one of those self-same car rides, would utter the words, "I think I might be gay." A friend who would randomly get up 2 hours early for high school so we could drive the 45 minutes to the nearest Krispy Kreme donut so I could taste my first hot fresh now before school one day. And on that Halloween, on Williams Way, I learned to never turn down a chance encounter. You never know who will change the course of your life. Or the iconic birthday slumber party where we played spooky parlor games my mom had made up, and we ate Taco Bell. I know. Cool. And we had a cake, and it had Jasmine and Aladdin and Raja on it. And we stayed up late watching The Nightmare Before Christmas, which miraculously dropped in time for my birthday on VHS. Just in time. And that night, I learned the joy in female companionship, the freedom in silliness, the danger in light as a feather, stiff as a board, light as a feather, stiff as a board, the sheer magic of staying up past your bedtime with the right people and letting the church giggles hit you so hard you're crying. Sometimes sacrificing tonight is so worth whatever adventure waits for you tomorrow. Or there was my 7th grade Halloween party, birthday party, where I was Cleopatra in a costume my grandma made me. And I felt powerful and wise and confident in my black bob and my Party City asp arm cuff. And we bobbed for apples, and we danced and sang the Spice Girls, and we hung out with our crushes. And we wondered what the night would bring. And then there was my 8th grade birthday party, back by popular demand after the 7th grade one word got out. But that party was a little different. I was Marilyn Monroe in the white dress. My grandma also made that for me. And I felt insecure. And I wondered if the boys noticed. And how far I came from Cleopatra to Norma Jean. But I know we've all taken those steps in the journey to finding ourselves. But this party was different because I had become popular. I was the star in the 8th grade musicale. And in my waspy-ass small town, all the popular kids were in the 8th grade musical. True fact, baffles me still to this day. But yes, the jocks and the cheerleaders and the rich kids, they all, for whatever reason, abandoned the cool seats in the back of the bus and the corner tables in the cafeteria, trays excluse, and they did the 8th grade musical. And that year was my first leading role ever. If you've come to the Horizon, you've seen me have the fortunate opportunity to play a couple leads here, but that was my first lead ever, and I was the feisty union rep of a Golden Age musical. Anyone have any guesses? It was Babe. The pajama game is the game I'm in, and I'm proud to be in the pajama game. I love it. That was my first big role. So for the 8th grade Halloween party, I invited all my usual friends, the kids who loved science and make-believe and making up games in the woods, but I also invited the cool kids from the musical. And that party, the music was awesome, and the candles were lit, and Mummy Bowling was open for business in the foyer hallway, and the cool kids sat in the corners of my house, just like they sat in the corners of the cafeteria, judging anyone who wanted to participate. The vibe was off all night, but one of my best friends, Natalie, she was this like tiny, little, smart, silly, nerdy little thing. She loved to eat ramen right out of the packages and jump on the trampoline. Natalie was dancing enthusiastically to jock jams in the living room. And I heard that unmistakable cackle of cruel laughter from the corner of the room. And I went straight to my mom mid-party, near tears, and I said, "Mom, this party sucks!" And like the scientist she is, she missed none of this detail. And with empathy, she looked me square in the eye and she said, "I know." And she gave me a hug, and right there in the middle of the party, I learned the power in the company we keep. Right then and there, I had a chance at popularity, and I chose to walk firmly in the opposite direction. My mom and I celebrated wildly and goofily in the kitchen with a dance to Monster Mash to celebrate the last party guest leaving. And somewhere in my soul, I knew I never again wanted to keep company with anyone who made someone else feel they needed to dim their light. From Halloween parties in college, where I learned that being sexy is fun, and I learned being silly is like equally as fun, and to Halloween parties in Atlanta, where friend groups came and went, and I found my people, and they guided me through the epics of my early life, to my wedding, with that cutie right there. We knew we wanted an October wedding, and we found Neverland Farms on my birthday, October 9th, 2017. A lush, woodsy, open-air venue nestled into the North Georgia mountains. A romantic, dreamlike place where the only light came from the glow of fireplaces and candlelight and cafe bowls floating in the air. But Neverland Farms was booked in October for the next 4 years. I know movies always talk about a Christmas miracle, but what comes next is a bona fide Halloween miracle. Because the month was over. Right before the month was over, we got a call, and a couple was switching their wedding date. They had to move it up into the spring, and there would be one October date available next year. And we got the call because that glamorous, magnetic, sort of witchy, white-haired Stevie Nicks type older woman who ran the venue just said she liked us best, and so she skipped her own waiting list. Oh, a Halloween miracle, and it was, drum roll please, a Halloween weekend wedding. I knew it was a sign, and we signed for our dream venue right on the spot. Now, we didn't do a themed wedding, but I could not let Halloween weekend wedding slip me by, obviously. So we invited our entire guest list to a karaoke costume welcome party. And half the wedding guests, like literally at least half, showed up in full costume the night before the wedding into this little adorable old music venue in downtown Dahlonega, the Crimson Moon. If you've been there, you can imagine its low ceilings and its dark wood beams lit by the soft candlelight of all my birthday jack-o'-lanterns. Brandon and I went as Captain Hook and Peter Pan, respectively, Neverland Farms. And we sang love duets as a villainous pirate and the boy who could not grow up. And our family turned out. They came as classics like witches and cowboys. My dad came as Mickey from Fantasia. I remember him watching that over and over when I was growing up. And my high school best friends came as the entire cast of Glow. All of them. Oh, we karaoke to Meatloaf and Spice Girls and Salt and Peppa and the Beatles, and we danced and laughed literally all night. I have thrown many a Halloween party in my day, and that was the best one. That night I learned your past life and your present life and your future life are actually always there with you. Literally in that case, but also metaphorically. And if you ever need them, all you need to do is ask. It is absolutely possible for the ghosts of your past, the presence of your present, and the future hopes to all pull up a chair, grab a beer, and sing some karaoke together. That night, I only half-jokingly said, well, the wedding can't top that. But the wedding did, in fact, top that. Because on the next day, on yet another milestone Halloween weekend, I said yes, I do. It has always been on crisp October nights that smell of wood smoke and rotting autumn, when dark falls fast and the moon and stars light the world in equal parts dark and light, that I seem to find myself. Halloween taught me to say yes to life. Trick or treat. Choose both. Choose both. Since we're in the theater, I feel it appropriate to wrap up with an Oscar Wilde quote. Give a man a mask and he speaks the truth. In the time of masks and make-believe, when the shadows grow long and the veils between this world and the next are just so very thin, there are mysteries and messages out there for you. There are truths just only for you. Listen deeply. In the time of magic and shadows, you will find yourself there, waiting in the space between.
Fantastic! Yes! Thank you, Jen.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you. That was so great. Oh, I love that. Oh, I remember those Halloween high school parties. Well, I just want to shout out Jen because the first show I ever saw at the Horizon Theater was Nobody Loves You, and she was in it.
Yes.
Yeah. My mic's on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I think.
What's up next for you, Jen?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm directing at Synchronicity, the family holiday show. It's Wonderland, a rock and roll Alice in Wonderland adventure.
Woo! Yes.
And then after that, I'm directing Lizzie, the rock and roll musical at Actors Express.
Yes.
And I have got to get a shout out again to our own Horizon, who gave me my first professional directing opportunity in Atlanta. So thank you.
Yes, this was amazing. Thank you, Jen. Thank you to all of our storytellers.
Can we bring them? Let's bring them
everybody
one
up.
more back.
Come on,
Team Tones, get on up here. And thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight.
Yes, thank
That
you.
is our show.
Yes.
And I'm Megan.
I'm Brittany.
And this was Southbound, True Life Tales.
From the ATL and beyond.